In a world where noise seems to be the default setting, the most powerful transformation often begins in silence. When you decide to focus on yourself, your growth, your mindset, your purpose, you stop feeding energy to distractions that do not serve you. Most people are so busy looking at what others are doing that they miss the incredible opportunities right in front of them. The moment you turn your attention inward and invest that energy into your own development, you create momentum that nothing and no one can take away. Silence is not weakness, it's strategy. When you stop explaining yourself to those who will never understand, you protect your peace and preserve your energy. You don't need to announce your every move, your every plan, or your every thought. Your results will speak for you far louder than your words ever could. In that quiet space, you gain clarity, strength, and direction that the noise of the world could never give you. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean shutting people out. It means setting boundaries that keep you aligned with your vision. It means saying no to things that don't align with your goals, even when they're tempting or socially acceptable. It's learning to value your time and energy enough to protect it fiercely. You begin to notice how much more you can achieve when your attention is not scattered, but concentrated like a laser on what truly matters. Every moment you spend comparing your journey to someone else's is a moment you rob from your own progress. You were not created to live someone else's life. You were created to fulfill your unique calling. The more you measure yourself against others, the more you lose touch with the greatness inside you. Your only competition is the person you were yesterday, and your only goal is to become better, stronger, and wiser than that version of yourself. There will be times when people question your silence or misinterpret your distance. Let them. Their misunderstanding is not your problem to solve. You are not responsible for explaining your process to anyone. Growth often happens in private. Flowers don't bloom with noise. They bloom in silence, in the right conditions, and in their own time. So will you. When you commit to working on yourself consistently and quietly, life begins to align in ways you never imagined. Opportunities find you because you've become the person ready to receive them. Relationships improve because you've become more grounded and intentional. Your peace deepens because you no longer give your energy to pointless battles. Without even realizing it, your silence and focus have created the life you once only dreamed about. Silence in a world filled with constant noise and distraction is one of the most underrated and misunderstood tools for personal growth. People often equate silence with passivity, assuming that if you are not speaking, posting, or announcing your every move, you must not be doing anything of importance. In reality, the opposite is true. Silence allows you to do the deepest, most transformative work without the weight of unnecessary opinions and expectations. When you choose silence as a strategy, you create a protected space where your thoughts can develop without interference. Too often, we share our goals too soon, looking for validation or encouragement, and in doing so, we open the door for doubt and discouragement to enter. Even well-meaning people can unintentionally plant seeds of fear in our minds, causing us to question ourselves. Silence shuts that door. It allows your vision to mature in peace before it's exposed to the unpredictable winds of outside opinions. In silence, you gain clarity. Without the constant chatter of the outside world, you can hear your own inner voice, the one that knows your true desires, your strengths, and your values. This voice often gets drowned out by the noise of social media, gossip, and the endless opinions of others. But when you intentionally step back from that noise, you give yourself the gift of focus. You begin to see the next step on your path more clearly without being distracted by what everyone else is doing. Silence also gives you the space to observe. When you are not constantly reacting or speaking, you become a better listener and a better learner. You notice patterns in people's behavior, in opportunities, and even in your own habits. This awareness is a powerful tool for growth because it allows you to make adjustments with precision rather than guesswork. More than anything, silence builds strength. It teaches you patience, the kind of patience that refuses to rush the process just to satisfy curiosity or impress others. Silence trains you to be comfortable with delayed gratification, knowing that the seeds you plant today will bear fruit in their own time. The world moves fast, and many people waste energy trying to keep up with appearances rather than doing the slow, consistent work that produces lasting results. By staying silent and focused, you separate yourself from that race entirely. Silence also protects your emotional energy. Every conversation you engage in, every argument you entertain costs you something: time, focus, and often peace of mind. By choosing silence, you conserve that energy and redirect it toward actions that actually move you forward. You stop giving away your mental resources to people and situations that don't contribute to your growth. When your growth happens in silence, your results eventually speak so loudly that you don't have to. You won't need to explain where you've been or what you've been doing. The transformation will be obvious. People will see the difference in your confidence, your results, and your presence. The beauty of this approach is that it removes the pressure to perform for an audience. You're no longer living to be seen, you're living to become. And here's the truth: not everyone deserves access to your process. Some people are only meant to see the finished product. By using silence strategically, you decide who gets access and when. You control the narrative instead of letting others control it for you. This is not about being secretive out of fear. It's about being intentional with your life's work. Silence, when chosen with purpose, is not emptiness. It's a powerful container for growth. It's the space where your vision strengthens, your skills sharpen, and your spirit prepares for the opportunities ahead. When the time comes to step into the light, you will be ready, not because you've been talking about it, but because you've been living it. Expansion of Keynote 2, protecting your energy through boundaries, 700 words. Protecting your energy is one of the most important skills you can develop if you want to live a life of purpose and progress. Your energy is your most valuable resource, more than money, more than time, because without the right energy, you can't fully use the time you have or create the wealth you desire. Every conversation, every commitment, every environment you step into either deposits into your energy account or withdraws from it. Boundaries are the walls and gates that control that flow. They determine what gets in and what stays out. Setting boundaries isn't about being cold, selfish, or distant. It's about being intentional with where and how you invest your focus. Think of your life as a garden. Your goals and dreams are the plants, and your energy is the water and sunlight they need to grow. If you keep pouring that water into weeds, negative people, pointless arguments, unnecessary obligations, your garden will never flourish. Boundaries keep the weeds out so your plants can thrive. One of the biggest energy drains comes from trying to please everyone. When you lack boundaries, you find yourself saying yes to things that don't align with your priorities. You attend events you don't care about, engage in conversations that leave you feeling drained, and take on responsibilities that keep you too busy to focus on what truly matters. Boundaries give you the power to say no without guilt, because you understand that every yes to the wrong thing is a no to the right thing. Protecting your energy also means limiting your exposure to negativity. That includes people who constantly complain, criticize, or doubt your potential. Their words and attitudes can slowly chip away at your confidence and motivation if you let them. Boundaries may mean spending less time with certain people, unfollowing toxic accounts on social media, or simply refusing to entertain conversations that go against your values. You're not being rude, you're preserving the mindset that keeps you moving forward. Another form of boundary is how you manage your environment. The spaces you live and work in either drain your energy or recharge it. A cluttered, chaotic environment can create mental stress, even if you're not aware of it. Protecting your energy may involve creating spaces that are clean, organized, and filled with things that inspire you. This physical boundary sends a message to your mind that you are in control and that you value peace and clarity. Technology is another area where boundaries are essential. Without limits, constant notifications, messages, and digital noise can keep your mind scattered and restless. Protecting your energy might mean turning off notifications for certain apps, setting specific times to check emails, or creating phone-free zones in your day. Every boundary you set in the digital space gives you back mental energy that can be invested into your growth. Boundaries also apply to how much of yourself you share. Not everyone deserves to know your plans, your struggles, or your next move. When you share too much with the wrong people, you open yourself to unnecessary judgment and interference. Protecting your energy means being selective with what you reveal and when. This isn't secrecy, it's strategy. You're keeping your vision safe until it's strong enough to stand on its own. Enforcing boundaries can be uncomfortable at first. Some people will resist them, especially if they've benefited from you not having them. They might try to guilt you, argue with you, or make you feel as if you're doing something wrong. But remember, boundaries are not for them, they're for you. The people who truly respect you will understand and even see. Upward the lines you draw. Those who don't respect them are simply revealing why those boundaries were needed in the first place. The beauty of boundaries is that they not only protect your energy, but they also direct it. When you're no longer spending emotional, mental, and physical energy on things that drain you, you suddenly have more to give to what matters most. Your goals, your relationships, your growth. You become more productive, more creative, and more present. Boundaries are the framework that allows you to build a life you love without burning out in the process. They're the filters that keep distractions and negativity out while letting in only what strengthens and supports you. By protecting your energy through strong boundaries, you set yourself up to move forward with clarity, purpose, and power. You become unstoppable, not because you do more, but because you no longer waste your energy on what doesn't matter. One of the fastest ways to drain your confidence and slow your progress is to constantly compare yourself to others. In today's world, it's easier than ever to do this. Social media gives you a front row seat to everyone's highlight reel. You see the vacations, the new houses, the business wins, the perfect relationships, and it's tempting to measure your own life against what you see. But here's the truth. Comparison is a trap, and it will rob you of your joy, your focus, and your growth if you let it. When you compare yourself to someone else, you're often comparing your behind-the-scenes reality to their carefully curated public image. You don't see the late nights, the sacrifices, the failures, and the insecurities they've had to overcome. All you see is the polished result. This is like reading only the last chapter of a book and thinking you understand the entire story. You're measuring yourself against an illusion, and it's an unfair fight you will always lose. Every person is on their own unique journey. You have different strengths, experiences, and purposes than anyone else. The path you're on was designed for you, and the challenges you face are shaping you in ways that may not make sense yet. When you compare your progress to someone else's, you forget that you are not running the same race. What works for them may not work for you, and the timing of their success has nothing to do with the timing of yours. Comparison also distracts you from your own growth. Instead of using your energy to improve yourself, you waste it on resentment, jealousy, or feelings of inadequacy. You start making decisions not because they align with your goals, but because you want to catch up or keep up with someone else. This can pull you completely off track and leave you further from where you actually want to be. The only person you should compare yourself to is the PE. Bars than you were yesterday. This mindset shifts your focus from competition to progress. If you're growing, learning, and becoming a little better each day, then you're winning, regardless of what anyone else is doing. It's not about being the best in the world. It's about being the best version of yourself. Avoiding comparison doesn't mean you can't be inspired by others. In fact, you can use the success of others as fuel for your own growth. But the key is to let it inspire you, not discourage you. If you see someone achieving something you want, instead of feeling bitter, ask yourself, what can I learn from them? What habits or strategies could I adopt in my own way? Inspiration is healthy, comparison is toxic. Another reason to avoid comparison is that it often blinds you to your own progress. You may be so focused on how far ahead someone else seems that you forget how far you've come. Take time to acknowledge your wins, both big and small. Celebrate the milestones you've hit, the challenges you've overcome, and the skills you've gained. Gratitude for your own journey will always bring you more peace than envy for someone else's. Comparison also leads to impatience. You might see someone achieving a big goal and think, I should be there by now. This can cause you to rush your process, cut corners, or quit when results don't come as fast as you want. But growth takes time. The most successful people you admire likely spent years in preparation before you ever heard their name. Their overnight success was built on countless nights of work that no one saw. The truth is, your life is not meant to be a copy of anyone else's. The things that make you different are often the very things that will make you successful. When you embrace your unique path, you stop worrying about where others are and start focusing on where you're going. That's when you find real peace, because you're no longer chasing someone else's dream. You're building your own. When you stop pouring your energy into things that don't align with your vision and start investing it entirely into your own growth, life begins to align in remarkable ways. The relationships, opportunities, and breakthroughs you once chased will start finding you because you have become the person capable of holding them. Your silence will no longer feel like restraint. It will feel like power. Everything falls into place when you protect your focus and let your results do the talking. In the end, the quiet work you do today will speak volumes tomorrow.